Okay, so you just heard what Jane had to say. What do you think? I mean, she went to him on March 6th. First of all, she took a long time to come forward. She thought long and hard about it. But right after, she went up to him in the restaurant and she said, "I hear people throwing on the N-word," and he puffed up and said, "That's right."
Well,
Unashamed.
She's very brave to, approach a stranger like that, and I think it's a tribute to her integrity that she did that.
Right.
But he puffed up, and he admitted to it, and he subsequently admitted to it. He doesn't care that it's a racial epithet, that it's derogatory, and that it's offensive. He endorses it and accepts it. So, but he has the right of free speech in this country, and for that reason, the voters are going to have a hard time getting him to resign if he doesn't want to. First Amendment's going to give him protection. I don't agree with what he says. I think he should be thrown out of office. But you know something? The First Amendment says even speech we hate, we will protect under the First Amendment.
And so, Mike, let me ask you about that, because the commissioner did put out a written response that I want to quote from. And here's what he said. "While I believe the problems associated with minorities in this country are momentous, I am not phobic. My use of derogatory slang in reference to those among them undeserving of respect is no secret. It is the exercise of my First Amendment rights." Does he have the right to make those comments in public and not be removed until the voters have the opportunity to remove him?
You mean the wolf of Wolfboro? I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. Yes, he absolutely has the right, and I agree with Paul. But he also has the right to have accountability, harsh accountability. This is a person that needs to be boycotted. The town needs to be boycotted. I applaud Jane for speaking up. That's what we did in the 60s, right? We spoke up, we took action, we knew there was going to be accountability for our actions as well. This gentleman needs to have a boycott. Anyone that's thinking about going to Wolfboro should say, you know what, I'll get my gas somewhere else. I'll get my groceries somewhere else. And I want to apply so much pressure to this town that the town itself will be so unattractive to him that he'd want to step down.
That he would. All right, Paul, what do you do when you put this in the context of other incidents, though? You've got Donald Sterling. Racist remarks, horrible, inappropriate, but he thought it was a private conversation, and it was recorded. And now we all know what happened there. An elevator earlier this week, Jay-Z and Beyonce's sister, there's a punching incident. Now the whole world sees it. There doesn't seem to be privacy anymore.
Well, no, there isn't privacy anymore. But this sort of thing,
I'm so glad you said that, because I didn't expect you to agree.
Well, privacy's gone because of technology.
But once there's no privacy and you know someone says something, how do you then, with the societal norm the way it is now, I mean, everyone knows it's a hateful, awful thing to say, how do you protect someone like that with the First Amendment?
But there's something people have to understand, and I think this is the biggest misconception about the First Amendment. Everybody says, I can say whatever I want. The First Amendment protects me. The First Amendment protects you from government interference. You can't be put in jail for using derogatory language or racial epithets. But your employer can fire you, and Donald Sterling is learning that the NBA can knock him out of office, or there can be a boycott.
It's a private group?
That's a private group. So the First Amendment has to do with the government's relationship with its citizens, not a business's relationship with its employees.
So you agree with Mike? I mean, Mike, you're saying that...
No, I disagree with the boycott. That's a terrible way to punish the good people of Wolfboro, New Hampshire, who have had a meeting already. They're angry at this guy. They want to force him out of office, so why put them out of business?
Well, let me say
They're doing the right thing, these people.
NAACP, National Urban League, National Action Network, Rainbow Push should all be listening. This is an opportunity for a boycott. I absolutely disagree. Yes, it is something that the town is living with. They're living with a racist police commissioner right now.
How do they get him out? They have no impeachment statute,
I just told you.
And they have no recall statute. They have no...
So he's saying this is how you do it.
You're an attorney, right?
So
this is not a legal action.
The poor local grocer who's trying to scrape a living, you're going to boycott him because this dopey police commissioner is a racist? They should make sure that there isn't a police commissioner in that town anymore with such pressure that nobody wants them there. What's the I don't know. It's a tough thing. It's tough to fashion a solution that works.